Guys, we finally had the emergency meeting that has been long overdue. Pere finally announced to the rest of the housemates that he doesn't want monopoly in the kitchen.
To reduce kitchen monopoly, someone else would have to handle the kitchen until Monday.
So of course you guys have heard him for yourself, so I'm just going to break it down a little bit more. Pere called the rest of the housemates to gather around the dining area, and he handed them their Bbnaija that Biggie has sent to each and every one of them. So what that means is that right now the new housemates also have some Bbnaija to shop for personal stuff and the rest of it, okay? And then shortly after that was done, Pere said he had something else to say and he wanted Whitemoney to be there. At the time, Whitemoney was in the toilet, so he waited a bit for Whitemoney, but then he like said the shit where Whitemoney the shit it's long, so he couldn't wait any further. He decided to go on with the announcement and said that some switching up needs to be done and all of that, and that's when he said that he doesn't want Whitemoney in the kitchen and stuff like that, because for him it feels like that's monopoly, and besides he wants to cut Whitemoney some slack, you know, so other housemates should be able to help out in the kitchen. Now, as much as I like the presentation, I like the way he presented it, but it would only take someone who is smart enough to understand that there's more to what meets the eye. Obviously, it wasn't just the case of, oh, Whitemoney, you're being stressed out, I want you to rest and all of that. No. Prior to now, Pere already had a conversation with Maria in the head of house lounge, where he was telling Maria that, you know, he knows that this whole cooking thing for Whitemoney is a strategy, and you know, it would make it very impossible for the housemates to want to nominate him because, oh, everybody's going to love Whitemoney, and you know, when Whitemoney leaves, no one is going to be there to cook for the house, you know. So he already had that conversation, he already had an agreement with Maria, so it was no surprise today when he mentioned it. Yeah, Maria was obviously there doing her deputy job, you know, trying to back him up and say, look, anything can happen and all of that, so it shouldn't be just one person cooking in the kitchen, blah 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 blah. You know, after they finished saying that, there were suggestions here and there. In fact, Nini did not even buy the idea. Nini was like, no, I think we should vote to this, and Pere told her immediately that this was not up for voting. According to him, he spoke to Biggie about this whole kitchen wahala, and Biggie told him that the decision was his to make, you know, so he decided. He also went on to state that whoever wins the head of house next week can choose to go on with this or go back to the old ways, but for him, starting from tomorrow, he doesn't want Whitemoney in the kitchen. He wants other people to take over, and of course Angel volunteered to be in the kitchen. You know, Princess was actually very reluctant because already I told you guys that Pere had this conversation with Princess and Princess did not want to take it, but then because everybody kept on saying, oh, but Princess is a caterer and all of that, she then said that she would assist. Okay, so this is not a case of, you know, she wants to be there, it's just a case of, okay, everybody is calling me the caterer and all of that, so make I just help them, may not be like say, you know. But Angel volunteered to cook. Tega also went on to mention to them that, see, that sometimes you wake up and cooking no go dey your body, so if you make a roster and say, oh, I'm cooking tomorrow, what if I wake up tomorrow and I don't feel like cooking? This guy has been cooking, he's not been complaining about it, and your parents like, no, I don't want that, you know, let him also rest, let him also be out of the kitchen, someone else should do it, blah blah blah. Jumoke, you can cook now. Jumoke did not answer. The girl was not sleeping, but she did not answer, and then when they kept on calling her, she was like, oh yeah, I can cook and everything. So yes, now we have other housemates who are also going to be helping out in the kitchen. Now, I'm not saying that I do not like the idea that other housemates should be involved, don't get me wrong. I mean, I feel like most times Whitemoney is stressed out from cooking and all of that, and he deserves some rest. But the reason why I'm looking at it with a second eye is because I know the agenda behind removing him from the kitchen. This is something that Whitemoney does without anybody asking him or forcing him to do it. You know, he does it willingly, so it shouldn't even be a topic of discussion. But then for Pere, it's a big deal, it's a strategy, so the guy needs to bounce from the kitchen. And of course, when Pere was making this announcement, Whitemoney was just there like this, like, he wasn't saying anything, he wasn't giving off any expressions on his face, and I'm just like, this guy knows what is happening. And you guys best believe that immediately after the meeting, you know, the people that said they would be cooking, them liquor rose and all of that, they now went to the kitchen. Whitemoney was now putting them through and saying, okay, you know what, for this night I'm going to cook a very big pot of stew, and then tomorrow you guys can now make the beans and plantain and whatnot and all of that. And then they were like, but Whitemoney, you'll be in the kitchen now because you know a lot of tricks, you know how to manage things, you know how to do this. But then why do you guys still want him to be in the kitchen when the head of house clearly stated that he doesn't need him to be in the kitchen? Now, as if that was not enough, yeah, while they were still in the kitchen, J. Paul walked up to Whitemoney and, you know, said something to him, and Whitemoney is like, I know, he knows that this is my joy and he just wants to take it away from me, but then it's all good and everything. At the end of the day, all I need to do is rest, not say person send me message and all of that. There was also another conversation between J. Paul and Boma, and you know, both of them were like, all this whole thing is just the dragging that is going on between Pere and Whitemoney. Whitemoney. And Boma made a very valid point. He was like, during the whole veto power thing, there was a possibility that Pere could have actually saved Saga and replaced him with Whitemoney. But then if he had done that, that would have been so obvious that he's against the guy and all of that. So this is him just doing things in a very subtle manner, and both of them laughed about it.
White could have been switched for veto power. It's possible. But he would have been back to back. You get it. Back to back. So this is like a month. Yeah.
Again, there was another conversation between Cross and Angel, and Cross is like, all this kind of strategy, now wow, I know say strategy they day for business, but all this kind of strategy where they bring for a game, it get as a bill, it choke and all of that.
This gameplay people are using on my choke. Well, I wish you the best. Cooking ain't easy.
Now, while they were still talking, Pere now walks in, and then everybody now changed the topic. And it's safe to say at this point that while they are trying to respect Pere's opinions and his instructions and all of that, they are aware of what is going on. They just don't want to be a part of it, because at the end of the day, it not really concern them now game that they play. So let everybody play in a fair and square manner. See, all these things here for me now, Monday go end. After Monday now, you carry that emblem of authority when they heavy you for neck, give another person. Okay, as much as I like the fact that Pere thinks very deeply and he's very self-aware and aware of the games and all of that, I just feel like this whole bitterness or whatever it is that he has towards Whitemoney is just going to put him in trouble. And like Boma said, yeah, it's just very easy at this point for other housemates to go into the diary room or go into the nomination room and just call up the guy's name, because they overdo. And I wouldn't be surprised if by the next time they're having nominations, a lot of people keep calling Pere, because it gets to a point where people are like, guy, you don't overdo, can't they go us? But then again, I mean, we're here for the drama. Whatever it is that happens, I will definitely bring it to you guys. Okay, now shortly after, Pere and Maria went back to the head of house lounge, of course, to deliberate on the success of their plans and all of that. And according to Pere, he's like, he just saved all these lazy, dormant housemates, from a lot of wahala, because if they are smart, they will know that he just saved them, because at the end of the day, none of them will nominate Whitemoney, blah blah blah. And Maria is like, yes, plus the thing that's even annoying her is the fact that Whitemoney is exaggerating about a lot of things that he's saying, his life experience, his journey and all of that. That how can he say, I think earlier today they were having a conversation about hair, and Whitemoney said that he grew his hair 18 inches long in 2 years. And Maria is like, how is that even possible? Because even when you use all this hair growth thing and all of that, they don't work as fast. So how did you grow your hair like 18 inches long and all of that? I didn't really catch that conversation. But then she has been hammering on the fact that Whitemoney lied, and it's so annoying to see that the rest of the housemates are swallowing that lie. They're taking everything that he's saying and all of that. And they both went on to say, that they hope that the next head of house that wins is smart enough to understand what is going on and all of that stuff. And then Pereira is now like, better pray that the God of luck shines on you so that you can win, so that you can also continue in this stead and all of that.
They will never nominate him. He'll be the last five.
I'm not against that, his game, but I'm sort of like going to knock him off his game.
Maria actually went on to tell Pere that, see, Whitemoney actually knows that you do not like him. Like, he understands that and he's trying to get on your side. And Pere is like, see, I don't hate him, I just hate his guts. And I hate the fact that he's fake and all of that. And in my mind, I'm like, he's fake. Look, if you can fake it till you make it, because at the end of the day, all this thing are game. I can actually enter the house now and start faking something. In fact, there was something Maria even said about Angel, that they will see Angel cooking like 3 indomie, and nobody will say anything. Whitemoney will let her cook the 3 indomie just because she says she has ulcer. Fuck it, that means I can come and claim that I have ulcer. And my mind, I'm like, okay. It's funny how people think. Like, wait till you gain now, say you can't like, say you get ulcer. This girl literally doesn't eat as much. And when she eats in bits. So why are you upset about it? Pere now started saying, that is even true. That in fact, today, when JMK wanted to make Indomie and everything, Whitemoney told her to make 8 for 8 people. But then when Whitemoney was talking to the housemates that volunteered to cook, he said when you're cooking noodles for 2 people, you cook 3 noodles. So that's like 1.5. I did not hear Whitemoney say 1 noodles for 1 person. But then Pere was telling Maria that Whitemoney told JMK to cook 8 noodles for 8 people. Meanwhile, Boma ate out of that noodles that JMK cooked. And then when JMK cooked the second batch again, Whitemoney gave Pere. So it's almost like Whitemoney is nicer to some housemates than the others. So basically, he was insinuating that Whitemoney does a lot of favoritism in the kitchen. And then when he now sees him, he now does that is nonsense. Like, bro, you don't chow, or you can't carry food chow now. In my mind, I'm like, you guys are going to be alright, okay? Because as I did like this, I'm not going to follow on a chop beside the food. If you not like, cook. If you not like, no cook. Me I go belly full. you go belly full. Now them know what they do for jazz. And it's funny because when Maria comes out now, she's all laughing and, you know, shining her teeth with Whitemoney, only for you to go back into the head of house lounge, and then you and Pere, you sit down there and conspire and say a lot of stuff about Whitemoney. Like, it's just really funny. And to be honest, it's the double standard for me. Like, you come out here, you're acting like you're my friend and all of that, only for you to go back and you're the one even stabbing me. That's the thing. This show na real life story, okay? People where they follow shine your teeth and then they kill you. In Yoruba, I think they say the thing where they fight for Sokoto, they your Shokoto. You know, so you really never can tell. You just have to be careful. And like the theme says, shine your eye. So if they don't shine their eye, so go enter. Now my own be that. Alright. Let me know what you think about Pere's decision. Let me also know what you think about, you know, the way Whitemoney was able to handle the whole situation. Just let's have a conversation in the comment section, okay? Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye guys.